Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. Interact with me on IG and Twitter at MitchellRenz365. Today's show, 5 breakout players for the Oakland Raiders in 2019. Oh yeah? They're only on offense, so don't freak out when there's nobody on here on defense. Make sure you guys subscribe to youtube.com/Raiders Report. The number one player that I think could break out for the Oakland Raiders is Josh Jacobs. Now, there's two people in the world. There's people who lie about peeing in the shower, and there's people who pee in the shower. The people who lie about peeing in the shower don't think that rookie running backs can be breakout players. Now, he's one of the favorites to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, according to BetDSI. Don't make it up, okay? Now, he was drafted in round 1, and I think he could get a heavy workload. Now, some of you are like, Mitch, rookies can't be breakout players. So how about this? Josh Jacobs, in his entire career at Alabama, had only 299 career touches. What happens this year, in his first year with the Oakland Raiders, if he has more touches than 299? People are talking. When you look at the Raiders running back depth chart, I think that Josh Jacobs has a legitimate shot to get 200 carries. When you look at Jalen Richard, he had 68 receptions last year. Chris Warren, I'm not really sold on him. DeAndre Washington, I think that he should get cut. And then Doug Martin. Jon Gruden literally said that he brought in Doug Martin to help grow Josh Jacobs. You want to talk about somebody who had success as a rookie? Doug Martin, 1,400 rushing yards. Now, I'm not going to say that that's what Josh is going to have. But I think this offense is a lot better, okay? I do rip Tom Cable a lot. I really do. But if Tom Cable has had success at anything, it's been at running the football, at least in a power scheme. So there's that, all right? So I finally said something positive about Tom Cable. Y'all are welcome. Now, Josh Jacobs was drafted in the first round, okay? Here are the last 3 years. Here are the running backs that were drafted in the first round of the 2018 draft, of the NFL draft. Saquon Barkley and Rashad Penny in 2018. Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey in 2017. And then Ezekiel Elliott in 2016. Before everyone kind of gets all crazy, Josh Jacobs is not Saquon Barkley. He's not Christian McCaffrey, and he's not Ezekiel Elliott, okay? So let's just pump the brakes there. I'm not going to try to make that comparison. But now let's look at what these 5 running backs did in their rookie seasons in terms of total yards. Saquon Barkley, 2,038. Rashad Penny, bust, called it. Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, and then Ezekiel Elliott. Sure, Saquon and Zeke, they're in a league of their own, okay? If you've ever seen a League of Their Own movie, it's also pretty good. I really think Jacobs has an opportunity to be around where like Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey were in terms of total yards in their rookie year, which is exactly why I'm going to ask you guys this question. Over or under 1,250 total yards for Jacobs in 2019. So type O for over, type U for under. Makes sense, right? That's what we're doing here at the Raiders Report. Over or under 1,250 total yards for Josh Jacobs in his rookie year. Make sure you guys subscribe to the number 1 Raiders channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Raiders Report. I'm interacting with Raider Nation. You guys want to hit me up on IG or Twitter? Please do it. If there's anything that I can do to make this show more fun and entertaining, let me know, okay? DM me. Next player that I think that could be a breakout for the Oakland Raiders, it's Tyrell Williams. So this is his first year in Oakland. They signed him in free agency, and Mike Mayock was like, hey, I really want to build around Derek Carr. I really want to add some speed around Derek Carr. So why not go out and get a Tyrell Williams, who's 6'4", 225 pounds, who was literally my number 1 option for the Raiders in terms of like wide receiver free agent that they need to target. So yeah, Mike, I appreciate that you watched the show. Here's the other thing. He's going to be opposite of Antonio Brown. You can't double team Tyrell Williams when you have Antonio Brown on one side. You can say what you want about J.J. Nelson. When he's on the field, you at least have to respect the speed. Then your running back options, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Richard underneath. Tyrell Williams is going to get single covered a lot of the time. And Derek Carr is going to be good enough to hit Tyrell Williams down the field. Now, I don't know if he's ever going to get to that 2016 year where he had 1,059 yards, 7 touchdowns, 69 catches. Nice. The last 2 years, though, he's been a pretty productive wide receiver. Here's the thing, okay? I love Tyrell Williams' skill set, and I would love for him to get over 1,000 yards. So this is what I did. I looked at the last 2 wide receivers, or I shouldn't say that. I looked at the wide receivers that got the second most targets by Derek Carr. So here are the last 5 years. So basically Derek Carr's entire career. Shouldn't say basically. Derek Carr's entire career. 2018 to 2014. These were the options that Derek had as the number 2 player, okay? Second most targets. So Jordy had 88. Amari Cooper, 96. Amari Cooper, yeah, I've been looking at cars. Amari Cooper, 132. Amari Cooper with 130. And then Michael Rivera. What a name there. So this is what I did, okay? I took Tyrell Williams' entire career stats. So think about this. A 60% catch rate. 16.3 yards per catch. And I looked at the average of all those players. So Jordy, Amari Cooper, those 3 years, and Michael Rivera. It came out to 109 targets. If you get Tyrell Williams 109 targets with his career averages, it comes out to 65 catches, 1,066 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Ties a career high in touchdowns, has over 1,000 yards receiving, and second highest in terms of receptions. Those are my Tyrell Williams 2019 stat projections. So I want to know from you. I want you guys to project how many yards, how many touchdowns, targets, receptions you think Tyrell Williams is going to have in 2019. How about this? Okay, let's have some fun here. For anybody that guesses the exact number of yards for Tyrell Williams, I'm going to Venmo you $10. Cool? I'm at Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Words. Third player here that could break out. Hunter Renfrow. It's another rookie. You guys can hate me all you want. He has a chance to be the starting slot wide receiver. So Antonio Brown on one side, and you got Tyrell Williams on the other. And then it's going to open up things for Hunter Renfrow, and you guys can get mad at me for saying this. Derek Carr likes to check the ball down. You can come at me all you want, and I'm wearing his jersey. So the fact that he likes to check the ball down, we could maybe see a pretty good year here for Hunter Renfrow, a player who showed up in big games. Gruden grinder, said it, take a drink. And for somebody who has got big-time playing experience, he's clutch, man. When you can find a player who's clutch, who can pick up those clutch first downs, Derek looks for that. One of the reasons why he loved Jared Cook last year is because he picked up clutch first downs. One of the reasons why he went to Michael Crabtree and not Amari Cooper was because Crabtree picked up the clutch first downs. When you see what Hunter Renfrow did last year at Clemson, 49 catches, 544 yards, and 1 touchdown. But from a career standpoint, 15 touchdowns, but what you're really going to think about with Hunter Renfrow is the clutchness. Him coming up in big games. That's why the Raiders went out and got Renfrow. Now, the fact that I think he's going to be the starting slot receiver over Grant's why I said Ryan Grant's probably, or I think he should get cut. Then you have J.J. Nelson, not Jordy Nelson, Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams. For the first time ever, well, I shouldn't say for the first time ever, since I've started covering the Raiders, I'm actually really confident in their wide receiver core. So, over or under 47.5 receptions for Hunter Renfrow in 2019. Over under 47.5 receptions for Hunter Renfrow in 2019. So type OV for over or type UN for under. We're making things simple here on the Raiders Report. The fourth player that I think that could break out is Darren Waller, okay? If you guys watched my rumors segment, you'll know that Jon Gruden and Derek Carr were basically calling Darren Waller their secret weapon. They were trying to keep him a secret. He's a good athlete. He is a very good athlete, but this guy has been suspended twice. If he can keep his head on straight, okay, keep his head on straight, he might be able to produce. He's going to be given a solid opportunity in an offense that has really featured the tight end. Last year, Jared Cook, 896 receiving yards, top 5 in the NFL, 6 touchdowns, 68 receptions. Jared Cook had a career year. Darren Waller came out as a wide receiver, and if he can finally put things together here, because when you look at the Raiders' depth chart, I think he has a pretty good shot. Now, sure, they just went out and got Eric Swoop. Congrats. Carrier, I think, is going to get cut. Luke Wilson with 2 L's in his name for a reason. Foster Moreau and Waller. These are the top 2 tight ends, I would say, on this Raiders team. So if Waller can ultimately get those targets, I think that he could actually have a breakout year, and we're pumping the brakes, guys. Like, hey, this is the point of a breakout show. All right, so which tight end is going to lead the Raiders in receiving yards in 2019? So those are all the tight ends. You got Foster Moreau, Waller, Luke Wilson, Swoop. Which tight end will lead the Raiders in receiving yards in 2019? I put this on as a community poll, so if you didn't get a chance to see that, you guys have a chance here to vote, okay? Which tight end will lead the Raiders in receiving yards in 2019? So we're going to bring up some questions here. I shouldn't say some questions. We're going to bring up some statements regarding that question. Matthew Pohl, is that how you pronounce your last name? I don't know. None. But they all block pretty well. So not a single tight end on the Raiders, according to Matthew Pohl, is going to have a single receiving yard. I'll take the over. And Matthew, no picture, so get one. Okay, so you're at the Raiders Report, you got to get a picture. Rob Heimermer. I pronounced it wrong, but I don't really care because this is an amazing answer. So if you guys don't watch the show, if you're not already a subscriber, get with it. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. You'll know that YouTube blocks cursing. So we have replaced the word here at Chat Sports, the F word, with Tom. So if something is Kyle Tomming Rudolph, you can put it together yourself. Next one's coming in from Practically Experts. 38 receptions combined in 2018 from Waller, Swoop, Wilson, and Carrier. Waller is a fun tight end in Madden. Okay, I don't play Madden. Luke Wilson is only interesting because his Wilson is spelled with 2 L's. My money is on rookie Moreau. Wore 18 at LSU, so that's something. Wearing 18 at LSU is something, but if you guys want to know who I think is going to lead the Raiders tight ends in receiving yards, actually, just watch the show. It's Darren Waller. Last player that I'm talking about here that could break out for the Oakland Raiders, it's Kolton Miller. Their 2018 first-round pick, 15th overall. Sure, the dude had a really, really rough rookie year. But he's got high hopes in 2019, and Gruden has high hopes for him too. Heck, Gruden said that he thinks he could be one of the best left tackles in the NFL, and this is what I'll say. I sure freaking hope so. Because when you go out and get Trent Brown for 16.5, I was like, oh, he's going to protect Carr's blind side. Nope, he's going to put him at right tackle. Kolton Miller's going to slide over to left tackle. Now, if Kolton has gotten stronger, that's a good sign, okay? Because also, when he was drafted, Gruden came out and said that Kolton Miller is one of the best athletes he's ever seen. Now, I know Gruden, and he's kind of a hype artist. Like, it's all good. But Miller is actually a pretty athletic dude for 6'7". And if he can stay healthy, because when he was healthy, he was actually okay. As soon as he got hurt and got banged up, that's when it got bad. Like, it got bad really, really quick, especially with him and Brandon Parker. So if he's healthier, if he's stronger, he's under a new year. If you watch the rumor show, he's talking with a lot more swagger. Kolton Miller could be having that breakout year. Now, here are my 5 breakout players for the Oakland Raiders on offense. Josh Jacobs, running back. Could he get over 299 touches this year? Tyrell Williams, tell me what you think his stats are going to be. If you can get his exact receiving yards right, I'll Venmo you $10 at Mitchell Renz 365. Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, and then Kolton Miller. Those are my 5 breakouts for the Oakland Raiders on offense. If you don't like my 5 players, guess what I'm going to tell you to do? Cool thing we do here at the Raiders Report. You can comment below. Name a Raiders offensive breakout player in 2019. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, all I want you to do is name a Raiders player that you think could break out in 2019. For the loyal watchers that made it this far, good job. For the people who are new to my show that you've made it this far, please subscribe at youtube.com/Raiders Report, the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube. And if you have questions for me, if I missed anything on today's show, slide in my DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. And make sure you guys take a screenshot right now, and I'll share it on Twitter and Instagram. Have a good weekend. See you later. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.